Hello. It's nice that you could both make it. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
My name is Dave, and this is Carol. We're volunteers with the Community Dispute Resolution Center of Missoula County. Have either of you done mediation before?
Oh. Once a long time ago, I think I did something like this, yeah.
I have not. This is my first time.
Okay, well, we have an introduction that we go through, and then at the end of that, if you have any questions, why, let us know before we get going.
Okay.
Just to help me out, your names are, just I'll write them down so I don't forget them. Your
Athena.
Athena?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My name is Chris.
And Chris. Okay. Thank you very much. Mediation is the use of third parties, namely Carol and I, in order to facilitate a discussion. That's the main point. It's to allow you to reach a decision. Any decision reached has to be agreed to by both of you. We are guides. We're totally neutral. We are impartial. And we're not judges. So the point here is not to try to prove your case to us, but rather to seek a solution to whatever the issue is. Any decision, as I said, must be mutual and it must be agreed by both of you, or we don't have an agreement. We probably will at some point split into private meetings. Both of us will meet with one of you and then with the other of you. That will be totally confidential. Anything that's said in there won't be revealed unless you authorize it. So it's totally up to you whether or not anything that you say is repeated to the other side. We begin by having each side explain the situation, what it is that's led you to be here today, usually starting with the plaintiff. Carol, do you have anything you would like to add?
Yes, what we ask of you, the rules we ask of you, is that you both be good listeners. Try not to interrupt each other when you're talking. If you have a point that you want to bring up and the other person's talking, write it down and then you can bring it up later. Try not to do any button pushing, making the other person angry, and really, we really want you to just give it your best effort and be good listeners.
Okay.
Great.
Do you have any questions?
Athena, would you like to start?
Well, I mean, I could just tell you what, what prompted me to file against Chris. We've been neighbors for a really long time, and we've never had any problems. I don't know how this, kind of turned out this way, but so we're neighbors. We live right next door to each other, and we have this fence, and it's just fallen into terrible disrepair. It's it was unsafe and that sort of thing. So I approached Chris one day. I told him that I thought we needed to replace the fence, and he agreed that it was a good idea to replace the fence. And I got a bid, and when I tried to show Chris the bid, he was busy and didn't have time. So the way he kind of approached it, I just assumed it was okay to go ahead. So I had the fence built, and it looks great. And well, they had to adjust a little bit of something. There was some issue with some piping, something I don't really understand. But anyway, they had to make some very minor modifications to the original fence line. So we went ahead with it, and the fence looks great. And when Chris mentioned it, he noticed it, and he asked me about it, or he said, that's great, I'm so glad you got the fence. And I said, yeah, let's talk about your contribution. And I was just shocked. He was so angry. He was so angry when I asked for his contribution that, I just kind of turned away and really didn't know what to do. So I did make another attempt or two, I think, as I recall, to kind of, see if I could get him to cooperate with me, but he didn't. So that's why I filed the lawsuit.
And how much money are you asking for?
Well, the fence ran about $2,000. So, it just seems fair. We're property owners on the same block, sharing this, this fence, that he should pay half. He and his wife should pay half. they have the same benefit from the fence that I do.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Do you have anything else to add?
No, not right now. It's really upsetting, you know. It's just an upsetting situation.
Can I ask you a question, if you don't mind? What's your relationship been with your neighbor over the years?
It's been great. It's been. I mean, he and his wife have just been so lovely to me all these years. They've, you know, I really appreciate. I was really glad when they moved in, and you know, right away they were always really, you know, warm and very, you know, very good relationship. Yeah.
Have you interacted very much, or over the years?
Yeah, we did. I mean, we've always, you know, talked over the fence a lot and kind of shared, you know, our lives, and you know, Chris has helped me with some things around my house, and you know, I baked cookies for them and that kind of thing, you know.
What kind of things did he help you with around the house?
Oh gosh, I don't know. You know, there was a light switch that was kind of, you know, loose, and you know, he came over and fixed it, and you know, there was a banister that I was really worried about. I thought I might fall or something, and he came over right away to fix that. So, you know, just over the years, little things like that he's been really thoughtful about. So.
Do you pay him for those things?
No, you know, I did originally offer to pay, but he turned me down. You know, he would never accept payment. So like I said, you know, I would, you know, bake cookies, or if I was making something really, you know, really good, I'd make extra for them or something like that. No, he never accepted any payment. So, yeah.
When you talked to Chris about the fence, do you think he understood that you wanted him to pay for half? You think he understood that at the time?
Well, yeah, I do. I mean, I told him, you know, I said, so, you know, fence needs to be built, and, you know, I think we should, you know, get this done, and I'll let you know, I'll get a bid, and I'll let you know what your, you know, contribution ought to be. So, I mean, it was that kind of a conversation. It wasn't, you know, I mean, like I didn't confirm each aspect or element of the conversation, but it sure seemed like he understood. Yeah.
Well,
So
great.
Chris? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that, I mean, Athena summed it up pretty accurately. I'd like to say that I'm kind of sorry that we are in the situation we are in. We've had a great relationship, and I value our friendship, and it's too bad that it's come to this. And the fence was in need of repair, and I did agree with her when we spoke over the fence that we should fix it. The problem that I had with it was, well, two problems really. I never did officially see the bid, so I didn't really know how much money was involved. And the second problem is the timing of it. I don't have the money for this right now. I've got one young child and another one on the way, so I wasn't ready to be able to make that commitment now, or even really in the near future. So that was really the issue there. And I mean, the fence does look great. The other thing is that, as far as, you know, paying half, I don't know that that's necessarily fair. I think the orientation of the fence has been changed, so the frame side is now facing me, and she's got the fence side. And also, as she did indicate, it has been moved a few inches into my property too, which isn't a whole lot, but it definitely does take up space, you know, extra space that I had before, and it's now gone. So I would have liked to have gone over those things before we went forward with the fence. And she's right, I was busy, so we weren't able to really hash that out before we went forward. But I mean, you know, the fence wasn't going to fall over tomorrow. We could have had a couple extra days to at least talk about it and see the bid and discuss the terms of that fence and the terms of the payment as well.
And you said you were in a relationship. You guys have known each other how long?
I mean, it's been a while, I guess, you know, 10 years, probably, something like that.
Yeah, something
Okay.
like that.
So you've been pretty good friends all those years too.
Right.
And so basically what I'm hearing is that there's some hurt feelings on both sides in terms of you understanding that he thought he was going to pay for it, and you didn't really actually say you were going to pay for it.
Exactly. Yeah, and yeah, like I said, there are some hurt feelings. I value the friendship, and we got along great, and as she said, I have fixed some things around her house, and she did offer to pay, but I thought, as you know, a friendly neighbor, I wasn't going to accept that. I mean, I'm pretty handy. I could do those things relatively easy, and yeah, and also with the payment, I just can't make it happen right now. The timing is horrible. You know, I've got a young child on the way, and we're excited about that, but
Yeah.
it's just tough. Yeah.
That's really nice. Yeah.
So it sounds like you are interested and you do feel some obligation in terms of the fence, and you are interested in trying to work things out. It's a tough time right now. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
It is a tough time, yeah, and you're right. And we are interested in helping because it is a nice new fence, and it's not going to fall over on my little toddler and the new one that's on the way and going to be out there and playing in no time. So yeah, I would love to make it up to her somehow. I don't know that half the bill would be fair right now. Down the line, we could think of definitely some kind of compensation. I would be willing to do, you know, handiwork maybe to work the debt off in the future.
Does that sound like something that you would be interested in?
Well, I mean, yeah, I suppose. I mean, you know, he did say that he would pay for the fence, and I guess there are lots of, you know, there are more ways than one, I suppose, to work out a payment. So, you know, I don't know. I'm not saying yes right now, but, you know, I'm not saying no either. Yeah.
I don't know that I said I would pay for the fence. I said that we would discuss it, and I think it in the future it is, you know, it's something we need, and we could talk about some form of payment. But I don't know that we ever did. We agree on.
Yes,
on
you
how-
did. You did. You said that it was a great idea and that you were willing to pay. That's what I heard that you say, and that's why I moved forward. I mean, I was depending on that contribution.
You were depending on the contribution for.
Well, I mean, just that he would that he would live up to his word. You know.
Okay.
Just
So it wasn't so much the money as that you had his word, and that meant more to you than the money.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, yeah. You know, it's definite. Yeah. It's the money.
So I mean, I understand it is a principle thing, and you want some kind of compensation, and I think you should have some kind of compensation. I will reap the benefits of the fence as well, but half compensation, that full $1,000 is just, it can't happen right now.
Do you think we should call a caucus?
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
Okay.
So normally,
What's a caucus again?
a caucus is like a private meeting. We'll meet with one of you, and then the other one waits outside, and then we'll meet with the other one, and then depending on how things go, we may or may not have other meetings.
Okay.
So normally, I guess we would meet with the plaintiff first, if that's okay with everybody.
Sure.
So if you would mind
Step
stepping
out.
outside.
Sure.
Athena, thanks for meeting with us. In these meetings, the private meetings, we just kind of want to explore a little bit what you think about might be a solution to try to resolve this issue. You did say that you were interested in resolving it.
Yeah.
So do you have any ideas or thoughts about how we could do that?
Well, I mean, I think, again, the whole thing that got me to file the lawsuit is that it's a fence that we share. So I think that Chris and his wife should share the costs. So, that's I guess that's my point of departure, right? That's my
Okay.
beginning.
All right. Well, during the discussion, you did hear him indicate that he was willing to do something, but he has some issues in terms of money right now.
Yeah, I understand.
Is there any thoughts that you have that would help him out?
Well, that's kind of funny, because I've tried to pay him in the past for his work. So, and he hasn't accepted the money. So I guess at this point, I don't know. I'm imagining there's a way that we can kind of structure that, but I don't know what that would be. He's done all this stuff for me all along, at no charge. So I don't know. I suppose we could assign a value to certain tasks. I guess there's some more things I need done around the house. There's always something. So.
Is there a possibility, I don't know how much money he can come up with. It sounds like the finances are very tight in his family, and I don't know what your circumstances are in terms of the money. Does that make sense to you? That he, is having a really hard time financially?
Yeah.
And you guys have been really good friends for
Oh,
a really
yeah,
long time.
absolutely. Yeah.
And you, if you take this to court, the relationship is probably going to deteriorate even further.
Oh, I don't want that to happen at all. Not at all.
Yeah. And so basically, if we can come to a decision and a resolution here today, it would probably benefit both of you and the family that he's trying to raise right now.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And your neighbor, as a really good friend.
Yeah. I mean, I do want to do that. That's really important to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've been great all these years. They moved in, and I'm alone, and they've just been really nice neighbors and companions, and a really neat support.
Mm-hmm.
So.
What did you think when he indicated that you have the nicest side of the fence? Does that change in any way your thoughts about whether or not he should pay half, given the fact that the fence apparently is more finished on your side?
I suppose. I mean, I guess there's some. Yeah. I mean, that makes a little sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, just from a practical standpoint, it sounds like you're willing to work with us to try to work something out. But what we kind of need now, just to kind of get the ball rolling, is some kind of a concrete offer maybe from you in terms of maybe how you want to split it, and if you do split it, a thought on how he might be able to pay you back.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'd really like to help them out too, I mean, I think I just don't like to have the feeling that I'm kind of being taken advantage of, or being,
Mm-hmm.
that
Sure.
things are sort of, just not fair.
Mm-hmm.
Things to
Sure.
be, clear and fair. And I do want to help them out too.
Okay.
So, I just had a crazy thought. I don't know how crazy can you get with these things?
You can do it however you decide to do it, if you both agree on it.
Okay. I don't know if this is too crazy. But I was thinking, they have a baby coming,
Mm-hmm.
and they've got the little one, and sort of if there's some way I can make that a gift. If I could just, but just sort of have him understand that it is something, that it's of, like I'm almost. I don't want it to be like I'm just, just backing down or something like that, because I think it's fair that neighbors share costs like that.
Is it possible that you could do, a combination of saying, I know you have this new baby coming along, and I'd love to help you out with that as a gift, a part of it. The other part, because we're sharing this fence, and to be fair, here's, something that we might want to throw out there is that I need this done or this done. Would you agree to help me, do that? And then I, could gift you some of the other part of it?
That sounds like a great idea. I would do that. I mean, I think there's some things that I need around the house that Chris can do.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that would work. I think that could work, as long as they get that, that it's our fence and it's a shared responsibility. But I think that's a way to make that work. Yeah.
Okay. We can talk to Chris, and maybe you can think about some of the things, because we're going to have something kind of written down specifically in terms of this is what I need you to do, and this is going to be how it's going to be repaid, and then we can, write those things down, and so he can fulfill an obligation. Otherwise, it's just kind of like, it doesn't have parameters unless we do it that
Yeah,
way.
because I think that's the part that will really make me feel good about it. That'll make me feel really comfortable, because it's a real deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's real, because, the other part, like I said, the part that led me here was that I had a conversation with him that where I thought he had agreed, and I guess I just want to just at this point make it really clear.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, as Carol said, if while we talk to him, you could maybe just take a piece of paper and write down some things.
Okay.
That would be really helpful, and then we can talk to you again and kind of put some parameters around what the deal might look like.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
See how
thank
that
you very
goes.
much.
Yeah. you're
And then
welcome.
everything you said in here is confidential. Is there anything you would like us not to share with him that you said here?
No, I mean, I think you could, just, using your discretion, whatever needs to be communicated. Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
All right.
great.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks for waiting, Chris. We were talking to Athena and trying to figure out how to get a resolution to this case. And basically what she was saying is that she would be amenable to gifting part of the $1,000 to you for the fence and then having you work out, on her property, some work for her for the other part. And what do you think about that?
Gifting, is there a certain amount, did she say, gifting? Meaning she wants me to pay part of it in cash and work off the other part and
No,
work?
no. Basically what she's saying is that the $1,000 is the half of what you owe, but she is going to gift you, basically what she said, because of your new child, part of that $1,000, and then the other part, which we haven't really decided on an amount yet, you will work for her and do things around her house for her, but we haven't really decided what that is yet. She's thinking about that now while we talk.
Oh, okay, gifting, sorry, yeah, I misinterpreted that word. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I mean, first of all, I don't think she needs the cash. I know she's a wealthy widow, she has the money, so, and I do need the cash. But yeah, I'm gonna have the time, I'll be home with my baby and I should be able to get out there and help her fix whatever else she needs in the future, I'd love to discuss a certain amount of money that I would work off, and I don't see any problem with that. I still don't know that I would want to have that whole $1,000 in there. I think it would be, if she decided to gift me $400, then it would be, I think less than $600 worth of work, because we've got the frame side of the fence and she moved it 3 inches onto my property. But I do want to maintain this relationship with her because I like her. Athena and we've gotten along for 10 years and she's a great woman and I don't want to ruin that. So,
I think that's great, and it sounds like you're going to be able to work something out. I think it might be helpful, and I think she said we could go ahead and let you know some of the things she's thinking. So just so you kind of understand where she's coming from, because I think it'll be helpful, is it's kind of a matter of principle with her. She feels like you should have some obligation. I don't think that how much, as long as you acknowledge that you get some benefit from the fence and have some obligation, that I think she's going to be feel pretty good about the agreement we have. So maybe that'll just help you in terms of thinking about how something could be worked out.
I agree 100%. I mean, I do have an obligation. I'm going to reap the benefit of the fence, and I would like to work it out with her.
That's great.
We don't need to debate what was agreed upon and who said, what when we talked over the fence that day. That's beyond us. We now have a nice fence, and yeah, let's move forward and try to reach a solution and hopefully, mend any damage that we've done to our personal friendship relationship. So. Okay.
Sounds good. Well, we can bring her back in then and maybe discuss the specifics of the agreement.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
You bet. Well, thank you, Athena. We appreciate you waiting. Sure. And actually, I want to thank you both, because it does look like we have a good framework for an agreement.
Oh, that's
and
great.
So what I'd like to do right now is just kind of go over what Carol and I believe you guys have agreed to, and make sure it's okay with both of you, because there isn't an agreement unless both of you agree.
Okay. That's great.
And that is the agreement. The framework, as we understand it, is that there will be some gifting from Athena to Chris for part of the fence,
right? Yeah.
And then the other part will be some agreement to perform some work that Chris will perform in Athena's house, and that will be the details that we're going to be working on to try to work that out. But it seems like this is a framework that'll get you both back to being friendly neighbors again, and take care of both of your problems. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that sounds great. I'm really, really excited to be able to do this. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I think that's perfect. I don't, you know, the real issue was money out of my pocket, and I have no problem fixing up anything around your
That's
house,
great.
and I appreciate you gifting a little money.
That's
and-
great. And I can't wait till the
Yeah.
new baby comes.
Yeah, that's
That's
gonna be
awesome.
good.
Good job, you guys.
Well, let's get to work on the details. Well, we've put the details on paper, and you've both signed it, and that's wonderful. Just to let you know what happens now, we're going to take this agreement, and it'll be filed with the clerk of court.
Okay.
And so it will be a court document that's enforceable by the judge. I know there won't be any problems. You
No.
guys have patched things up wonderfully, but if there were any problems, you could go to court and, under the terms of the contract that you've signed, get those resolved.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
Well, not at all. This has been great. I'm really, really appreciating all of the work that that was done here today. Thanks.
Great. Well, we really appreciate you guys coming in, and really glad that you came to a resolution today. It's wonderful.
Yes, thank you guys for mediating. Thanks, Athena, for coming in. And yeah, I couldn't be happier not getting the lawyers involved and
Yeah.
moving forward
No
and
kidding.
mending our friendship. It's gonna be,
It's awesome.
it's good.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful.